let's continue with the other part of the video, which I want to talk about, which is election and election fraud. Now, I'm not voting, right? I always voted. I voted for many years. I always thought that it was something to do, something, my civic duty, that it was the right thing to do. But then when you think about the voting system, and when you realize that elections are stolen all the time, and this is just political theater, they don't care about us, they don't care what we think, they don't care what we want. This is just about a few people vying for power, wanting power, and they are just using us and using this idea of democracy to push forward this idea that they care and that they're going to do something, which they're not. Okay? So Mark Crispin Miller, he wrote a book called Fooled Again in 2004, I think, 2005, the 2004 election. So the book came out in 2005, Fooled Again. He gave a story about an incident where he met John Kerry, at some party, and he said to him, they stole the election from you, or something like that. And they had a conversation about it, but I'm not going to get into that. And then later on, John Kerry basically denied that they had that conversation. That election in 2004 between John Kerry and George Bush, I remember that election. I don't know if, depending on how old you are or what your interest level was at the time, you probably don't remember. But that election was stolen, and John Kerry knew that it was stolen. But according to Mark Crispin Miller, they don't want to talk about it. It's typical in our culture to accept an election, right? When they declare the winner, the opposition says, okay, I accept, and let's move on. So you don't really talk about it, because then you don't want to sound like sour grapes, right? So this was what Mark Crispin Miller said when he had this conversation with John Kerry. This is what he said to him. So you just accept it and you move on. But again, I think that they don't challenge election results, because again, this system is a closed system. There is no difference between the Democrats and the Republicans. They take turns. So they go behind closed doors and they have their conversations, and they say, okay, well, this year you are going to be the president for this or that reason. Or the people who select them, they make the decision that they're going to select. Because like in Trump's case, I think he was selected 4 years ago for various reasons. He's a great, I guess he's a good salesperson, right? This whole Make America Great Again, and people fell for it, right? He's a great salesperson. And this whole thing that he started up with the fake news, that was serving a dual purpose, believe it or not. And Mark Crispin Miller pointed to that. You see, fake news, Trump talking about fake news all the time, really deflected from the news that were actually correct, the news that we needed to know about, and certain things that were going on in the government that we were supposed to know about. By repeatedly talking about fake news, he was deflecting from that. So that served the purpose of taking our eyes away from the target. You see? So it's very ironic, you see, but it makes a lot of sense. Because why would he be talking about fake news like that? The media is very important in a democracy, right? But in this so-called democracy, the media has been bought off by the CIA. and the FBI. You see? The CIA and the FBI tell the media what to say, what not to say. You see? So when Trump is talking about fake news, he is diverting attention. And according to MCM, this was one of Trump's function. Because he's such a liar. He's such a liar. He lies about everything. So if you have somebody who tells a lie like every 2 seconds, and they keep telling you about fake news, right? He's actually making media companies like CNN, MSNBC, and these people, he's actually making them look good because he lies so much. You see? So even though they are lying as well and spreading propaganda, they are not the focus. He's the focus. Because number one, he's talking about fake news. Number two, he's always lying. So he's making them look good. Very ironic, right? But a very good point. So according to Mark Crispin, elections are stolen in the United States. Okay? The US has the worst voting system in the developed world. He's not just pulling this out of thin air. He's saying, according to a Harvard University study, they did annual survey of election systems and rated the US globally 26 out of 26. So the US came in last in the developed world. Imagine that. They came in last. The worst election system. And it is so bad that it does not rise to the level where the Carter Center would even monitor it. Because I'm sure a lot of you know that the Carter Center, as in Jimmy Carter, they go all over the world monitoring elections. Okay, and then coming back and criticizing this and that country about the election system. But right here in the US, they steal elections. It's the worst, right? It's the worst. So the US is ranked dead last in election integrity in the entire developed world. They don't rise to the minimum level where they would even monitor them, right? Jimmy Carter said this on NPR in 2006, according to Mark Crispin Miller. So MCM talks about conspiracy theory and conspiracy theorists and how this all came about. And he said that prior to 1967, there really wasn't such a thing. But after the assassination of JFK, and the CIA was getting a lot of criticism and pressure because of the Warren Commission. They were investigating this assassination. And what they did was the CIA sent memos to its station chiefs worldwide, asking them to use their friends in the media. Because you have to understand that the CIA and the FBI, they have infiltrated these organizations, and they have a lot of control, if not total control. So they were asking their assets, their friends in the media, to discredit the work of the people who were doing these investigations into the assassination of John F. Kennedy. So they were directed to write reviews attacking the authors of certain books and certain investigations as conspiracy theorists. So this is where it all started. And it was started, this idea of conspiracy theory was created by the CIA. And they were to use one or more of 5 specific arguments, which was listed in the memo. So for instance, the people in the media would say something like, if there were a conspiracy, someone would talk by now. So MCM is saying that they use this, they've been using this since 1967. So whether it's from, whether you have assassinations like with Martin Luther King, Robert Kennedy, 9/11, right? Everybody knows now that 9/11 was an inside job, right? When you have election theft, right? Any kind of false flag, okay? They are directed to counter that, by saying that it's conspiracy theory, right? So MCM goes on to talk about fake news, which I just mentioned with Donald Trump, and he said specifically, fake news is an offspring of conspiracy theories, like conspiracy theory 2.0, and that the term became more popular because of Donald Trump, whose function has been to sanitize the rest of the system. So because he lies so much and he's so mistrusted, in other words, he's making the other people look good. The other people who tell lies, the media, the CIA who direct the media to tell lies. His function, which he doesn't care, because he talks about draining the swamp, but he lives in the swamp. He lives in the swamp, So it makes these other people look good because he lies so much. You see? So this is his function. And that's very interesting. When I heard him say that, I'm like, wow, very interesting. So he's saying that people now think that the CIA and the FBI are on our side, which they are not. You see? And they believe in democracy and they're going to protect us from Russia, and the media is telling the truth and it's Trump that is lying. So he's making them look good by lying so much. So they specifically picked him and selected him in 2016 to perform that function, to divert our attention away from what they were planning, for instance, this lockdown, right? This scamdemic, to not pay attention. You see, this is his function. This was his function. And as far as this election, I don't know. I'm thinking that he's going to be selected again because his function now, there are so many people who are angry, the Antifa, the Black Lives people, that they are going to start riots, I believe, if Trump wins. I think there's going to be a lot of that, and we have to look out for that and pay attention to that. This would be his function, and they don't care about knocking things down and destroying things because they want to build those smart cities, right? Which is stories for other days. But this is my thinking, that we could knock things down. We are not going to do it. We're going to let the stupid people who love to demonstrate and protest, we're going to let them do it. We're going to let them destroy stuff. And then we're going to build our smart cities. So I'm thinking that Trump is going to be declared the winner. The thing is, all of this early voting and, the thing is, I don't think they could declare a winner on the night of November 3rd because there are so many different pieces to put together. So all of the ballots are never ever counted on election night, but they always declare a winner. you know. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm expecting a lot of craziness. Mark Crispin Miller, he talked about the computerized election system, and he said that it is extremely easy to manipulate. The electoral college is one of the other ways the system has been rigged as well, because we don't have one man, one vote. We have a Republican system, right? Representative republicanism is not a true democracy. A true democracy is one man, one vote. It's not an electoral college. He also pointed out about the people who own these machines, that they are private companies. People who own these machines, the people who manufacture the machines, these are private companies, and they're the ones in charge of our voting system. And there is a small faction, there's a small group of people, he calls them the radical minority. So you could have a group of Republicans or a group of Democrats who are close to these people who own these private companies that manufacture these machines. They are close to these people. In other words, they could tell them what to do. They could direct them to manipulate the machines to create situations where you vote for somebody, but then it can switch to somebody else without you knowing about it, right? It's all created within the machine, right? Machines, it's easy to do that with a machine. They are the ones programming the machine. They are the ones manufacturing the machine. So they could do this, right? Yes, so I just wanted to give you that information based on facts, based on research, that the United States has the worst system in the world, that there is no integrity in the system. So please, people, we need to pay attention. We need to wake up. These people don't care about us. These governments, they do not work for us. They are service corporations. And I really, really want to get into the common law aspect of this. We have to mobilize as men and women of this earth, of this world. We have to mobilize. We have to understand how the system works. And we have to defend ourselves from these people. They want to kill us. You know that the Georgia Guidestones indicated that they want to bring the population down to 500 million people. So think of how many people they want killed. And they have different ways of doing it. They're not going to do it one way. And if the majority of people in the world believe in this mask wearing or masking, which has nothing to do with a virus, then a lot of people are going to die. And then we need to talk about the whole 5G thing, which I'm not going to get into right now, but that is also going to enhance the mask wearing, because if you're not getting enough oxygen, right, and then if 5G is affecting oxygen level, then people might just be dropping like flies in the street. I'm sure you heard about those people who were now they're giving flu shots, because now they're saying flu season is coming around now, so you have to get the flu shot. And that would help with the other thing, right? But I think in South Korea, 48 people die. I think now it's probably up to 50-something people who died in South Korea from the flu shot, but they're still giving it to them, right? I'm going to leave links in the description about these things that I'm talking about. So you cannot help but think that these people are just evil, satanic criminals. Because why would you do that? Do these people have any, do they have more rights than we do to walk on planet Earth? And they're the ones who destroy planet Earth. They're the ones who are destroying planet Earth, the corporations. We are not doing it. They're doing it. But they want to get rid of us. Because after what they have done, they realize that it's not sustainable. They realize that certain resources are getting exhausted. So they want it all to themselves. So now it's too many of us. So they have to get rid of us. Please, guys, you have to understand this has nothing to do with a virus. Has nothing, absolutely everything that is going on in the world right now has absolutely nothing to do with a virus. And this is urgent. This is important. This is why I'm doing these videos. Stop doing the cooking videos, and I did to this because I have a platform. I have many subscribers, and I feel I have something to say, and I have, you know, I have to give voice to things that you're not going to hear in the media. You're not going to hear these things in the media. They're not going to tell you about these studies, right, where they found that people who wear cloth masks are more prone to infection. They're not going to tell you that. They just keep pounding away and pounding away at cases. I think I heard today, you know, November 1st, 2020, that there were 99,000 cases in the US. You know, so these people are they are criminals. There was another study, the Department of Defense and the British Medical Journal, where they found that flu shots increased the risk of acute respiratory infection, and that flu shots do not work, right? And this is what this Jamaican doctor was saying. You know, they don't know. They're guessing. Every flu season, they guess what strain might show up. They don't know. And this is why it doesn't work, because sometimes the strain that they guess was going to show up, it doesn't show up. So they're pumping you with flu shots that doesn't work. So this is something to keep in mind. The bottom line is that once you understand that you cannot believe anything that these people are telling you, once you understand this basic foundational knowledge that these people don't care about you, that they don't work for you, and this is all theater, you know, this is all just going through the motions the way we have always done it, and people are not thinking, and they're just moving through this world in a subconscious manner and not thinking. Once you understand that you need to become conscious, and you need to understand how things work in this world, and you need to understand that governments do not work for you. They don't care about you. Once you understand that, then you will question everything. Question everything. This is all I'm going to say for today, and thanks again for watching my videos. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments. I know you guys are smart and intelligent out there, and you know what's going on. So keep your eyes open. Take care of yourselves, and eat well. Fruits and veggies. Drink your lemon water. Get some sunshine. I mean, for the past week, we haven't had any sun in New York. The sun came out yesterday, Saturday, October 31st, and today, November 1st, it's dark and raining again. So there is no chance of going to the park and getting some sun, exercising in the park, doing a run. No chance of that. And we heading into winter and daylight savings times. It's going to get really dark here. It's now after 4 o'clock and it's going to get really dark in about 40 minutes. So take care of yourself, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.